What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Thirsty Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Throat Punch Thursday. I want to quit my job Thursday. How's everybody doing tonight? What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all already know it's the late show. And Jimmy Fallon's not here to tell jokes, so you're stuck with me for the next 60 minutes, 59 to be exact. And it's my mother's birthday today, so happy birthday, Mom, if you're watching. You're probably not watching, but either way, happy birthday, Mom. Chuck says no fun. I'm at work. Yeah, I was at work too, and now I'm home. So yeah, there we go. But first things first, y'all know how we start this Thursday. I am so shocked and surprised at 12 o'clock this afternoon. I didn't have a notification that Scott McNeil himself commented on this live stream. But he is the first one in the chat. How ironic. He didn't even come in early, and he is still the first one in the chat, followed by Maudrey in the house, Kim in the house, Julie, Vita, love the music. I love the music too, right? Julie Thomas, hey, Julie. Kathy in the house. So many amazing people. Lourdes in the house. She called me a baby today, but we're just going to skip right by that. If y'all did not check out the new vlog that dropped today, be sure to check it out, and you'll know exactly why she called me a baby. I tried olives in Greece, and I can tell you right now, I do not like olives. I will never try olives again. I do not want them. I do not want them, Sam. I am. I do not like olives, green or black. They will not go down. I just don't know what it is. Again, it's like a whole cucumber thing, right? I don't like cucumbers, but I love pickles. I tried it. It did not work. I tried it again with feta cheese. It still didn't work. I can taste it right now in the back of my throat as I'm talking about it. I do not like olives. Nautical Nurse Nancy in the house. What's going on, Nautical Nurse Nancy? My naughty sister, all the way from the Midwest. But I do not like olives. So Lourdes called me a baby because I don't like olives. And I'm sorry, I don't. My mom eats them. My dad's in the same boat as me. He don't like olives. Chuck told me he eats olives every now and then, but the olives in Greece, Chuck did not like either. So I'm assuming that Chuck likes the Spanish olives, the green olives, things like that. Scott loves olives. He's got blue cheese stuffed olives and all that stuff at home. There's so many people out there that like olives. I do not like olives. No, thank you. No, thank you. And I come from a Spanish background, right? So like we have this thing called party rice, and inside party rice has olives. But when my grandma makes it, she knows not to put olives in it because I don't like olives. And let's just get off the subject of olives. I keep talking about olives too much, and it's going to make me gag. And I don't want to do that. I don't want the live stream to get demonetized for me vomiting on camera. But I'll be a big baby. That's fine with me, Lourdes. You call me a big baby all you want. I'll be a big baby. I'm okay with olives, but not on pizza. And I'm okay with pineapple, but not on pizza either. So we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this olive dilemma. I do not like olives. I will not eat olives. And I'm surprised I even tried it. And Chuck, if you watch the video, you can hear Chuck in the background when I say, I'll try it with feta cheese. Chuck's in the background. No, don't do it. No. I should have listened when he said no the second time because it did not taste any better with the feta cheese. And I love feta cheese. The feta cheese over there was absolutely amazing. It was sour. It was soft. It's the way feta cheese is supposed to taste. It was phenomenal. I cannot wait to just go back and just dive into a container of feta cheese at the warehouse, the factory, wherever it was made. It was absolutely amazing. But tonight's show, I wanted to talk about some souvenirs since I did put out the first vlog from Europe, and that being Carfu. Now, I did do things a little backwards. I should have dropped Rome first, but listen, Carfu is what came out. Rome is going to be next, and then the introduction of the beautiful Sun Princess will follow. So be sure you're subscribed. You got that notification bell rung, so that way you get all those notifications. They are going to be coming out very, very fast, very, very soon. This was the first drop in the vlog series. I did create a whole little folder on YouTube, so you can go right up to playlist and click on Europe, and it'll all be there. Sun Princess, I believe, is actually what it's called. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, so it's the playlist is Sun Princess. So you'll find all Europe vlogs over there under the Sun Princess playlist, and you'll be able to check that out. There was so much we did in Rome, and I want to dedicate a lot of time to those because There's a lot of amazing things that I did when I was over there. I got some souvenirs here that I want to share with you. And I also got some gifts because there's so many people always asking about the cruises with the casino offers and all of that stuff with Carnival. And for those of you who don't know, the second cruise I went on the Carnival Glory was a casino offer. It was an elite offer. So they gave out goodies to the elite guests. And I have those goodies here to share with you. I have some great little memories to share with you as well, and some souvenirs that I picked up along the way. These are only a few of the 5 bajillion things I've bought when I was over there that I'm going to share with you. No, you don't have to worry. None of them are cheese. And I can tell you that none of them are definitely not olives, because that's not going to happen. Julie said those tomatoes and bread looked amazing, though. Let me tell you, that bread was delicious. Now, I know I said in the video that we were going to do lunch, and then you were shocked. We didn't do lunch. We didn't do lunch because we were full from bread and tomatoes and olive oil. Well, I was full from bread and tomatoes and olive oil and feta cheese. Chuck was full from bread, feta cheese, and olive oil. So the bread over there was nothing like the bread we have here in the States. When you eat bread here, or you eat like a sandwich on bread, or even the pizza dough, right? It feels super heavy. It feels like it sits very heavy in your stomach. The bread over there did not feel that way. Whether it was pizza, whether it was bread with the olive oil, whether it was bread on the side of, pita bread, or whatever other types of bread we had over there. I don't want to talk too much about it because there's so much coming up in the current vlogs that I'm working on. But the bread over there did not feel super heavy on your stomach. And when you coat everything in olive oil, coat it in olive oil to where it's like swimming in olive oil. It's so good. It is absolutely to die for. The steaming bean in the house. What's going on, Scotty Mac? Cheryl in the house. How are you? How are you? How are you? The volume is good on all the other videos. So I tweaked the volume on this video a little bit because the cab driver we had was playing music at certain parts, and I didn't want it to be too loud to where you could hear the music in the background. So I tweaked the music a little bit, but that is the only vlog that has any form of anything in the background. So all the other audio will be spot on. I do use good quality microphones and a camera for all of that. So everything will be pretty spot on from that point forward. Lorda says, get in the bag. I'm not Alejandro. I'm not going to get in your bag, but let's get into it, right? Let's talk about souvenirs. So we'll start off on some souvenirs that I picked up on board the Sun Princess, and then we'll go into the elite offer on the Carnival Glory. So the one thing I had to pick up when I was on the Sun Princess, now y'all know every Thursday I come prepared with not one, but 2 Starbucks cups full of water. And these are my Disney ones, but Princess, they must have watched my lives, because the lady in the shop told me they made this special for me. No, they really didn't. So I picked myself up a Sun Princess tumbler that looks like my Starbucks cups. Now, it's not a Starbucks cup. It costs about just as much as a Starbucks cup. It was $22. $22 for a Princess branded cup. Doesn't even say Sun Princess. I just like the blue and white. Blue's my favorite color, so I had to pick that up. And that'll probably make its debut into the Thursday night live shows. Because I always come loaded with 2 cups of water. I don't know why. Just always come loaded. Another thing I picked up while in Santorini was this. Now, this is an ashtray, but I'm not using it as an ashtray. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So it's going to go in my Courier cabinet or my TV cabinet, whatever you want to call it. I grew up calling them a Courier cabinet. But it's a little sailboat, and it says Santorini on it. It's one of my favorite little souvenirs. And then I also picked up this. It's like Picasso painted it himself. Now, for those of you who've never been to Greece or anything like that, this is definitely what it looks like. Whitewashed buildings, blue dome churches. Absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite pieces that I picked up. I seen it. I had to have it. Just couldn't walk by and not buy it. Relatively cheap. I think it was like €8, and it was made in Greece, so I'm cool with all of that. But this is one of my favorite souvenirs that I got throughout the whole trip, and these were purchased inside the Vatican walls while I was in Rome. And these are rosary beads, and I picked up a set for my mom. I picked up a set for my grandmom. I got my aunt a pair, but these are the ones that I picked up for myself while I was there. And they had a ton of different types of rosaries, but these are the ones that I went with. They're blue, like a blue marble. And the reason this is one of my like absolute favorites is because the day that I picked these up was a Sunday, and that Sunday the Pope was doing a blessing of goods. So like you could bring anything you were giving somebody as a gift, or if somebody bought a house and you bought them a welcome, like a new home present, you could bring it there and the Pope would bless it with the service. So all the rosaries I bought got blessed by the Pope before I gave them to my mom and my aunt, my grandma. They were all blessed by the Pope. So that's something that's really cool, because how many times are you going to be able to go to Italy and be able to witness the Pope do a blessing? Not many, right? So I made sure I definitely got that done while I was there. That's all going to be in an upcoming vlog. You'll see all of that. Tess Almon in the house, Eric in the house, party on the sea. What is going on, my brother? I hope you both are having a fantastic night. So those are the few things that I bought while on the Sun Princess that I thought were worth sharing. But there was one thing that was given to me by staff on the Sun Princess, and it's in this box. And what this is it's a you spent too much time and too much money in our casino, so we're gonna give you some bronze Princess Casino coasters. I literally spent too much time in the casino. If you like, this is, it says solid bronze on the back. Like, if I melt this down, I can turn it into something else. I spent way too much time and way too much money in that casino to earn some solid bronze coasters. And they didn't just give me one box. No, they gave me two. They gave me some for Chuck. They gave me a beach towel. They gave me all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I probably spent too much time in that casino. But it is what it is. It's in the past, right? Just it's gone. It no longer exists. It's in the past. And I got some nice Sun Princess Cruise Lines branded coasters out of the deal. I mean, hey, who needs the money? I'll take the coasters. But that's what I got from the first leg of the trip. Now, after the first leg of the trip, me and Chuck flew to Barcelona, Spain, where we met up with everybody else and we enjoyed the day in Barcelona. And then from Barcelona, we boarded the Carnival Glory, where I got to meet the lovely Lourdes. That was when I got to meet Lourdes. Lourdes is awesome. She is always in these live shows every Thursday night. She shows mad love on all the videos, even though she calls me a big baby. It's okay. It's fine, because she's always here. She's always showing that love and support. So I got to meet Lourdes on that trip, and Lourdes was on the cruise as well as I was, as an elite offer on the cruise. So what that means with Carnival, yeah, I did get a haircut in Barcelona, and let me tell you, I went and talked to my barber today, and I told him about that. There's going to be some changes coming around with my barber. I'm telling you, my barber's going to hook it up from here on out. He does not want me flying to Spain to get my haircut every 6 weeks. He'd rather me just drive right around the corner, and I'm kind of with him. It would be a little bit cheaper if I just drove right around the corner. But I did get my haircut in Barcelona. Chuck got his haircut in Barcelona, all 6 hairs. So we boarded the Carnival Glory. I got to meet the wonderful Lourdes, and we were both on elite offers. Now, an elite offer is a casino offer through the cruise line, through the casino of the cruise line. And with the elite offer, you get gifts in your cabin, you get the drink package, you get onboard credit, you get spending money in the casino, you get a bunch of different stuff. So there's perks to the different offers they have, right? So the ones that you start getting those free goodies on will be like your ultras, your premiers, your elites, your echo offers, which what I'm shooting for. That's really what I'm shooting for. But this was an elite offer, and they gave us a bunch of goodies. So first things first, let's start with the smallest of them all. And what did I just drop? I just dropped something. Oh, no, that's a cap. That's fine. Let's start with the smallest of them all. The first gift we got was a fruit basket. I don't have that here, so I can't show you that. But the first gift I could bring home was this corkscrew. It's a Carnival Players Club corkscrew. Nothing fancy. It's just your average, everyday, run of the mill corkscrew that they just brand it with Carnival Players Club. The first gift I got that I really thought was awesome was this. This nice Elite Carnivals Players Club Elite toiletry bag. Now, it's got nice little clip on it. You can clip it onto a backpack. You can clip it onto any other bag, or you can just throw it in your suitcase like I will, but it definitely holds enough. It's got a hook on it. You can hang it on the bathroom door. It's a great little bag. Not a bad little gift, right? I was like, oh, that's probably going to be one of the biggest gifts we get. Then we move on. We got some cookies. Now, I can't bring those because I ate those. So I can't show you what cookies are, but I'm pretty sure we all know what chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies look like. The next gift was this nice big day bag. It's got the same Elite symbol on the front. It's got Elite Cruiser embroidered on the back. You open it up. It's a nice big open bag on the inside. It's got the Elite Cruiser logo all throughout. It's got a shoulder strap. And the bottom unzips and you can pack more stuff in the bottom of the bag. So this is one of those bags that you can use on a ton of future sailings, right? So everybody takes that day carry bag, whether it's a backpack or something small that you just attach to your carry-on bag or whatever it may be. That now becomes a bag that I'm probably going to use on a lot more cruises because I want to start getting into traveling with just a carry-on bag. And I travel with a ton of camera equipment. So that'll help make space for me to be able to fill the bag. Now let's see what Tess says. I had elite offers, but the cruise isn't free. I pay a reduced rate. I chose the regular cruise for free. Just don't get all those gifts. They're nice. I got some good ones on a Premier cruise. So I can't say I didn't cruise for free because I did, right? So my elite offer was a free cabin, cost me $100 a person. I got $100 back on onboard credit. I just had to pay port fees and taxes. It was free. Cost me nothing but port fees and taxes. Now, there's probably some elites out there where you have to pay a lower price rate. You don't get it for free. I got mine for free. I just paid port fees and taxes. I got $100 back in onboard credit, and I got money to spend in the casino as an incentive. And then I got the drinks on us throughout the whole ship for me and a companion. And the last gift we got while on the elite offer is these stainless, I can't say stainless steel because it's black, but they're metal wine tumblers, whiskey glasses. They got little lids on them. You can fill them up with some ice. Nice metal. Keep them nice and cold. And I got 4 of these. So, hey, I didn't have to pay for this stuff. It was well worth it. It was free. They gave it to me. And it was nice to come back to the cabin and be like, what did they give me? What do I got today? What's in the room today? And then I got mad when it was cookies or something like that. I was like, man, give me the good stuff. Give me the good stuff. Give me the bags. Give me the speakers. The last elite cruise I was on before this one, I got a Bluetooth waterproof speaker. And then Carnival changed their policy about having Bluetooth speakers on their ships. It was weird. Lourdes says, using it for my next cruise, I actually used one for all of my purchases. Nice. My options are either free or Premier or Elite, but I pay and get gifts. I don't gamble on your level, I'm sure. My level is I need to stay out of the casino. That's my level. Casino gave us 500 free play too. Don't forget. Yeah, so I did get free play. I got the room for free, the $500 in free play. I was in a balcony room, drinks on us throughout the whole ship. $150 spa credit or $150 excursion credit. Pick up at the airport. Pick up at the airport when we got back to Orlando or the cruise port to take me back to wherever. But since I live further from Orlando, they wouldn't do that. It was 50 miles or less, and I was way out of that range. So we just did double ride while over in Barcelona. They picked me and Chuck up from the airport the day we landed and then took everybody to the cruise ship the following day. They give you a magnet with your name on it that they put outside your door. Mine was stolen. So, yep, mine just says elite guest now because they gave me like a generic one. The one with my name on it was stolen. But it is what it is, right? It was a good cruise all in all. Both trips were great. I got some more goodies here to show. I did buy myself a Carnival cup too. I have a thing with cups, man. I have a serious issue. I need to go to meetings. Stop buying cup meetings. That's what I need to go to. I need to go to cup meetings. But all in all, it was a great cruise. Everybody had a good time. Casino wasn't that great, at least not to me. Lourdes, it was great for Lourdes. She got koi all the time. I couldn't get koi to flip around once, but it is what it is. Yeah, plus comps, right? So we did get comps like Steakhouse, Seafood Shack, Candy, Cherry on Top, things like that. Lourdes, her name got called a few times. She got called for the Fill My Bag game, so she ended up, I think it was like second to last place. She was in there for a while. She got a bag full of goodies the first night of the cruise. So it was a good cruise. Everyone had a good time. Everyone laughed. Everyone had an amazing experience on a transatlantic. And it was just all in all good fun. So the question is how much do you have to spend in the casino before getting free stuff? I've never been offered anything free. So I can tell you right now, if you do not purchase a drink package, 1,500 points in the casino will get you free drinks throughout the casino. It doesn't matter how much you gamble, how little you gamble, as long as you hit that 1,500 point mark. The rest of your drinks in the casino while playing in the casino will be free. So depending on the point value really depends on when you get offered free stuff, right? When you have somebody like my buddy Cameron who only goes and spends maybe $200-300 on a cruise, he comes home, he gets some offers. He doesn't usually get offered free stuff while in the casino or on the cruise, but he'll get offers at like $25 a person for the cabin, things like that. Chuck, I believe, was at like 4,000 points or 3,000 points, and they offered him Seafood Shack, so he was able to get some money for the Seafood Shack. It really depends. And it depends on the cruise itself. If you're on a gambler's cruise, like the elite offer cruise that we were on, it's going to take a little bit more to start getting those offers because they have a lot of people there that are known to have high point values within the first few days of the cruise, right? Like we had this one guy, he was from France, and I think it was like day 2, he ended up having like 30,000 points on the second or third day of the cruise. So he probably closed out his cruise over 100,000 points on that 14-day transatlantic. Tess says it's kind of a mystery other than what Mike says about the drinks and offers. I started getting free versus reduced rated casino offers after the comeback when obviously I hadn't been gambling. So it's tough, right? Like it's hard to figure out their point system. And I can tell you that it's better to play on the slots than it is on the tables. Tables don't earn you as many points as the slots do, and the coin pushers don't earn you no points. So if you're playing those games of chance like the coin pushers or the claw machines, you're not going to earn any points. So you have to play things like the slots. And the more you spend on slots, you know, the more points you're going to have up, right? So the name of the game is to earn the points. The more, and it's not like it starts over every cruise, right? So like, follow me. If I go on a cruise in February and I earn 10,000 points, when I go on a cruise in March, those 10,000 points might not be on my player's card, but they're still going to be in the system, right? They're still going to know that I was on another cruise where I earned 10,000 points. So it's going to continue to generate offers. Within a year, I believe you have to have X amount of points in order to start getting offers. Now, like Tess says, during the comeback, you haven't been gambling, but during the comeback, they needed people to fill ships. The name of the game back then was to get as many people on ships as they could. I can personally tell you that my offers right after the pandemic with Carnival were way better than what they are now. I was getting more free play. I was getting $1,000 of free play on a 3-day cruise in a balcony or a suite or an inside. The free play amount was through the roof. Now the free play amount is so much smaller than what it used to be. But there's so many other perks that come along with that offer. It's not just the free play. It's not just the onboard credit. It's the gifts in the cabin, or it's the drinks throughout the whole ship. If I'm going on a reduced rate cruise for $100 a person for 7 days, I'm getting 200 of that back in onboard credit, and I'm just paying $300 for port fees and taxes. I'm also getting drinks throughout the whole ship. So I can't argue when I get a Cheers package, a premium on us, not even a Cheers, because I'm able to get top shelf liquor. I'm able to get a drink package for me and a companion that would typically cost upwards of $1,000, if not more, for a 7-day cruise for free. Now, technically, I know it's not free because I've earned that. I've paid my dues. I've paid my fair share of money within that casino. But I'm getting that with my offer. I'm getting $200 on board credit with my offer. I'm getting, free play with my offer. Or if it's an elite, I'm getting gifts with free play. I'm getting rides to and from the ship or to the airport. If I'm going out of California or Florida, if I'm flying up to New York and I need a ride, if I'm on an elite offer out of Manhattan, I know when I land in New York, they got a shuttle, not a shuttle, a personal car picking me up and taking me to the cruise ship, or picking me up and taking me to my hotel, things like that. So it's those little extra things that you get with it that make it a little bit, not necessarily better, but I prefer the elite offer over a regular offer because I'm getting more perks with it, and I'm paying the same amount of money I would have paid whether it was a regular offer or an elite offer. So I just tell everybody, man, continue to go to the casino. If you like to gamble, go with what you can go with, spend what you can spend. Don't expect to always win, but don't expect to always lose either, because if you go in there with a bad attitude, you're definitely going to walk out with empty pockets. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to go in there ready to have fun. We all know it's adult entertainment. We all know the main rule is the house always wins. But listen, as long as you're having fun and you're keeping it where you're able to keep it, you're just continue to play, continue to build those points, continue to get those offers, continue to let them keep coming in. And that's just the way it is. I've been on 13 cruises with Carnival, and all of them except for one have been casino offers. 13, I believe. Let's see. Carnival.com. Log in. Eric, I see your question. I'll get to your question in a second, because it really depends. It really depends on the vibe. So that's the thing, right? Like if I go into the casino and I'm losing out, I'm not staying in long, because when I start losing, I start doing what we call chasing the ghost, and then I'll start sticking money into the machine, sticking money into the machine, sticking money into the machine, and I'm not getting nothing on my return. So before I get to that point, I don't want to keep chasing the ghost. So it really depends on the vibe of the casino. It depends on the people I'm with. If I'm around a bunch of friends like Lourdes and Chuck and Scott, and everyone's laughing, having a good time, the vibe, the morale is like up here. But if it's crickets, yeah, no, I'm out of there quick. So I've been on 15 total Carnival cruises since I started sailing Carnival in 2021. All of them but one have been on a casino offer, and that one is the very first Carnival cruise that I've ever booked, which was the Lolita Loca Halloween group cruise, where I met Scott, I met Chuck, I met Cameron, I met Kim, I met Layla, I met everybody on that first cruise. We all became tight, close friends after that. And I've been on 15 of them, so 14 have been casino offers. I've taken my kids on them with me. My daughter has been on the elite offer with me, so she got all the perks of the elite offer. Obviously, not the alcohol package, but She got all the other perks. We did the Dolphin Shore excursion in Nassau, and we had a great time. I've taken my boys with me, all on casino offers. I've taken Scott and Chuck with me on casino offers. I've been on multiple casino offers through Carnival over the last, what, 2 years, 3 years? You figure October of 21, we're not even October of 24 yet, which will make it 3 years. And I've been on 14 cruises all through the casino with Carnival. Now, again, I know it costs money to gamble. It's obviously not free. Do I have a number on how much I could tell you I've spent over the course of 3 years in the Carnival casino? No. I could probably tell you I'm even. I don't think I'm down any. I've had some nice hand pays with Carnival. I don't think I'm down any. I think I'm pretty much break even. But Elite doesn't top all those offers. I think Elite is like the next level. You're gonna get the Echo offer is the offer you're really shooting for, right? The Echo offer is the offer everybody wants. They come out once a year. They come out in October. So that's the offer I want to shoot for. If I can ever get to an Echo offer, I think that would be pretty epic. And it's just like so much more stuff that comes along with it. But it is what it is. You know, I'm happy. I enjoy myself. I enjoy the time in the casino. I enjoy hanging out with the guys when we're there. I enjoy watching. I sat there and watched Lourdes, I think, for like an hour the one day. I didn't even play. I just sat there and watched her. Just her excitement when the coins would flip and how she would get excited. It was fun. It was cool to watch. So I don't always gamble when I'm in the casino. I do tend to sit there at times and watch other people gamble and have fun. But I usually do pay a visit to the casino at least once a day, depending on the vibe. Really depends on how long you would spend in that casino. Lourdes, I really don't know how many points I think we would need for an Echo offer. Again, it's hard to tell, right? So I know a couple people that have been on the Echo offers. I need to send them a message and see like how many points they earned on an Echo offer. Yeah, so that there you go, Scott. That was a good thing. So every day on the fun times, when it was a C day, the first thing on the fun times was 6 a.m. wake and win. Casino was open. So it was a gambler's cruise, the one we were on. It was full. The first night you couldn't find a seat in the casino. You just had to sit down wherever open seat opened. And for like the first 4 or 5 nights, it was like that. There was not many seats for you to find not many places for you to find a seat and sit down. So it's definitely harder when it's a gambler's cruise. Eric is asking Chuck Spencer, how was the first flight? I think Chuck's going to tell you it was a good flight. Now I'll give you a little story about the first flight. So I don't feel bad. I should feel bad, right? I don't feel bad. Listen, here's why I don't feel bad. So we get on the plane in Miami. I'm in the 4 row. Chuck's in the 2 row. And the configuration of the plane is 2-4-2. So you got 2 seats over here, 4 in the middle, 2 seats on the right. And in my row of 4, I was stuck with a bunch of kids. In the row of 4 behind me, it was a bunch of kids. And in the row in front of me, it was an adult and then kids. In Chuck's row, it was Chuck and an empty seat. Now, I use a CPAP to sleep. Chuck uses a CPAP to sleep, but Chuck gets to use his little mini, which is about the size of a smartphone. So if you have an iPhone 15 or an S20, picture that and a hose coming out of that. And that is literally the size of Chuck's CPAP machine. Now, picture a iPad that's about 4 inches tall, and that's the size of my CPAP machine. So when I was in the row with all the kids, I was like, yo, Chuck, this ain't gonna work, bro. I was like, we're gonna have to switch seats. And Chuck's never flew before, so he was like, all right, cool, whatever, fine. So we switched seats. I stuck Chuck over there with the kids after we got up in the air when I got ready to go to bed. I hooked up my CPAP. I couldn't even get an hour on that machine. I was so uncomfortable the whole flight. I look over and here's Chuck. I think maybe he got 2 hours of sleep. We land in Lisbon. We got lounge passes for the day. I went and I hopped into the shower at the lounge. He got some coffee, got some breakfast. We boarded the flight to Rome, and then it was hitting the pavement running from there on out. We dropped bags at the hotel, and it was just go, go, go the rest of the day. So, not getting any sleep, we slept like babies the first night. And it was funny because we walked into the hotel room, and y'all know you've been on cruises, so when you sail with your buddies, you split the beds apart, you have two twins. When I tell you these beds were so close together in the hotel, me and Chuck literally could have spooned and cuddled the whole night. They were that close. There was literally maybe 3 inches of separation in between the beds. I could have rolled over in the middle of the night and landed on Chuck's side of the bed, but it was two separate beds. So we did some rearranging in the hotel room. We moved some nightstands out of the way. We slid the beds over, gave ourselves a little bit more space. And then we went to bed early. We slept hard. Didn't wake up until the next morning. I think it was like 7, 8 o'clock the next morning. And it was one of the best nights of sleep I got. I did not get much sleep on the flight. Chuck did good. I thought he was going to have a little bit of a panic attack or anxiety attack, but he was good. He flew like a champ. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, Eric, you ain't gonna like the next thing I got to say. I do not think the Brightline is very brilliant for people like me or people like anybody. I can tell you this: it's a ripoff, and there's a video coming out about it. It's a ripoff, high-speed robbery. I know a lot of people love the Brightline. Listen, for me to have to drive from Tampa over to Orlando, pay a ridiculous fee to board a train, and then pay you $5 to give me 12 ounces of water, which is unfortunately garbage water because it's Aquafina. It's not even good water. It's probably one of the worst waters you can drink. For $5, that is a high speed robbery. Chuck bought himself a small bag of M&Ms, and it was like $5.50 for like 24 peanut M&Ms. I'm like, dude, you really just bought those? He's like, yeah. I was like, you need to count them as you eat them so we know how much you paid per M&M. I think it was like 19 cents an M&M when it was all said and done. I was like, you got to be kidding me. That is a rip off. Rip off. I was like, I will not take Brightline again unless I'm getting a good deal. And the day we took Brightline, it's ironic how the universe works, right? Like we took Brightline because I wanted to do the train review and I wanted all of that because I wanted to bring that to the channel because Brightline is potentially moving to Tampa. Now, I'm not saying when it moves to Tampa, it might not be worth it. I don't have to drive as far. I could board it in Tampa. I can go down to Miami. At that point, it might be worth it. But listen, it takes me 5 hours to drive to Miami from where I live. It took me 6 hours to get to Miami on Brightline. And the reason it took me 6 hours was because it took me 2 hours, 2.5 hours to drive to the Brightline station, and then 3 hours, 3.5 hours to get down to Miami, and then the shuttle over to the airport. So it did not save me no time. It saved me a little bit of money on parking, but I would have just flew from Tampa to Miami because I didn't have to park. I was going over to Europe. So it wasn't, and to me, it wasn't worth it. And you're paying $5 for a bottle of water. It's like Spirit Airlines, but with increased prices. At least on Spirit for $10, I can get a little buzz. I don't even think $10 will get you M&Ms and a bottle of water on Brightline. Yo, Eric, I promise you, we counted those M&Ms. I was like, Chuck, count those M&Ms, dude. Like, it's a little bag that you can buy from Walgreens from like $1, like $1.25. They were charging $5.50 for a bag of M&Ms. Insane, ridiculous. I am all for inflation. I get it. I understand prices got to go up on things, but you try to build a new train car with charging people $5 for a bag of M&Ms. You out your ever loving mind. If you bought those M&Ms and you're not Chuck, I'm so sorry you paid that much money for them M&Ms. Chuck knew he was paying it. He saw it. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy the M&Ms. I want the M&Ms. No way will I pay $5 for M&Ms. I'm gonna tell you right now, I swallowed my spit for a whole 5 hours if I knew it was $5 for a little bottle of water. I can tell you what, they only got one bottle of water out of me. No, sir. Never again. Never again. But I don't think it was worth it because I had to drive 2.5 hours to get to Orlando. And then the ridiculous amount of money it cost for things. The train ticket itself wasn't cheap, first off. It was a one-way ticket from Orlando to Miami, and it was like $53 per person. And then we had to pay for bags because we're taking a bag with us. It was an additional fee for a checked bag. And at the end of the day, it would have just been cheaper for me to fly from Tampa to Miami, from wheels up to wheels down. It would have took me 45 minutes and I would have been there, and I would have spent 2 hours at the airport prior. So for half the time, right around the same cost, I'd have been in Miami 2.5, 3 hours earlier than I was with Brightline. It was a great experience. It was a learning experience. It is what it is. But I say it's funny how the universe works because the day we were taking Brightline was the same day that Princess Cruise Lines officially partnered with Brightline. And they came up with this ride and sail type of offer that they have on their website now. So it was funny, just the way it works. Uh, you know, it happens. But I got some other things here that I want to show y'all. On board the Transatlantic, it was a Journeys cruise with Carnival. So it was a Transatlantic Journeys cruise. They had a caricature artist on board, and he was from Riverview. His name is Jeff. If you go on over to my Instagram, you can check him out over on my Instagram. I should have linked it in the description, but I didn't. But he was on board, and we had some drawings done. And I got this one of me here. What do you think? Looks like me, right? The guy did a bang up job with these. But I got this one of me here that I'm going to get framed up. But the one that I really love the most was this one right here. Now, we had a conversation, we did some talking, and I had a group of 8. And I was like, man, I would love to get everybody on the page, get everybody on there and call it the Naughty Bunch. So, like, play with the Brady Bunch, right? So instead of the Brady Bunch, the Naughty Bunch. And this is what he came up with. That is the Naughty Bunch. We got all 8 of us on there. Got Scott over here. You got Chuck up here. Right above Chuck's head, it says 6 hairs. This is Ronnie right here, and he was the only color guy in the group. He's Layla's boyfriend. He's an awesome guy, and he made a joke about being the only black guy. So of course, Jeff put on there black guy. It was awesome. It was a bang up job. The dude did phenomenal. Staying in touch with him. He's right in Riverview, so not that far from me. And he does birthday parties and all that fun stuff. So me and Eric are in the process of planning on a Florida meetup. So I have a little idea up in my brain, depending on where we go for this Florida meetup sometime this year. So if you're interested in a Florida meetup, y'all shoot me a message and let me know. That way we can get that ball rolling and everybody can meet up while here in Florida. Who doesn't want to come to Florida, right? Even if it's for 24 hours. Who won't want to come to Florida? I know I would. I'm already here. Julie, I'm talking to you. Lourdes is already here. Scott's in Florida. Chuck's 5 hours away. Eric's here. We're going to do a Florida meetup this summer. It's going to be a bang-up job. In the description, you're going to see, for those of you who didn't pay attention last time, I'm not talking to Jolie. Jolie, I'm talking to you. There's a new active promo code on the swag store. It's Spring 20. Save 20% off until next Friday. All that new 2024 Naughty swag that has dropped, you can officially get it for 20% off. Use the promo code. Save the 20% off. Don't pay full price. There's a promo code for a reason. Use it. Spring 20. SPRING 20. So if you're going to snatch up any swag, make sure you use that promo code. That way you can save 20%. It is on everything that is on the site. There's not anything that is specifically, you know, black marked off, but you can save that until the 14th. So whenever the 14th is, spring 20% off. And yeah, you buy it, you don't. I just figured that'd be nice. And since spring is right around the corner for all of my northern folks, spring 20 is the promo code. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much a bubble on Europe. New vlogs will be coming out very soon. Yeah, I really don't got much more. I figured I'd show all the fun little stuff that I thought about, that I really enjoyed and I really liked from the trip. I love Chuck in that picture. It literally says 6 hairs. We were busting on Chuck while he was getting his little picture drawn, and he was over there like doing something with his hair, and I was like, bro, why are you worried about them 6 hairs? Like, you literally got 6 hairs. So Jeff put on there 6 hairs. I thought it was great. A few people in the group got tattoos. I'm pretty sure I talked about that last week. Tattoos while we were in Las Palmas. That's pretty much a wrap on that, right? Lourdes says going on the Vista July 13th for 8 days, but we can really plan that one. Yeah, so the Vista is a great ship. I love it. If you haven't been on it yet, there's a video out there. I'm pretty sure you've already watched it. I did a ship tour on the Vista. But it was absolutely wonderful. It's, you know, I love older ships. And I had a comment the other day on that video, like, I don't understand why people think ships are old. I have socks in my drawer older than some of these cruise ships that people call old. Listen, I love the older ships. I absolutely love the older ships. I will take an older ship. I'm not going to say an older ship over a new ship. I'm not going to say that, but I will take an older ship any day. I loved the Liberty. I loved the Paradise. I love the Glory. I love the Vista. I love the Horizon. So any of those ships that are older ships, I absolutely enjoyed my time on them. I had a blast. I enjoy the old school atriums with Carnival. I didn't really know what the whole thing was about the atriums until I started sailing on Carnival. And I love the old school atriums. I love seeing the violinist. I love seeing the live music and the parties and all that stuff that happens in the atrium. So I'm all for the older ships, and that's why I'm excited about that Margaritaville at Sea that's coming out in a few short weeks out of Port of Tampa. I'm really stoked about that ship because I've been following it since they said they got it and they were making changes and this, that, and the third. And I've been following it on Instagram. And let me tell you something, if you are not looking at that ship and the things they are doing to it, you are highly missing out. They are bringing life to that old ship, and it is going to be sailing out of Tampa very soon, which is my home port for those of you who do not know. And I plan on going to Tampa when it's coming in. So that's where the notifications come in at. If you got the notifications turned on, you'll know when I'm in Tampa and going live for the very first time when that Margaritaville at Sea Islander sails in to Tampa. Now, the first sailing is June 14th, so it'll be like around the 11th, 12th, or 13th that it gets into Tampa. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out when that happens. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with it right now. My next Carnival cruise isn't until October, and that is on the Magic. I have the Utopia of the Seas in July, which I'm stoked for that because my first ever Royal Caribbean cruise is on the Utopia of the Seas. And then my second Royal Caribbean cruise will be on the Utopia of the Seas because I'm doing back to back. But somewhere between July and August, the beginning of July and the end of August, me and Eric want to put together a Florida meetup. So make sure y'all send me a direct message on Facebook or shoot me an email letting me know that you're interested so we can get that figured out and planned out for the very near future. But that's pretty much it, y'all. That's where it's at. That's where life is going. Back to work, back to the grind, getting ready for the kids to be done school for the summer. And that's pretty much it. Mom turned 60 today. She keeps telling everybody she's 30. She's already starting to lose a little bit of that memory because 60 is 60. Can't go backwards.
No, I'm not, fellas.
There you go. She's 29. And for those of you who don't know, I'm now the Pope. So, but that's about it. Y'all got any questions? Y'all feel free to drop them in the chat. I really don't know what else to talk about for the next 10 minutes, but we can talk about something. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's something out there somebody wants to know. I'm starting to lose people. That's just the way it goes with these late shows. There can only be one person that goes late at 10 o'clock at night, and it's me. Sorry. I have to go late. I don't want to cut into anybody else's time, and I figured the late show is better than no show, right? I mean, listen. Did y'all check that video out today? How many of you have watched that video today? That video, that food in that video, yeah. For all of you who sent birthday wishes to my mom, she says, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I got to mute her because she's over here talking and she doesn't realize that I'm still live on the YouTube. But she says, thank y'all for the birthday wishes. Kathy says, I watched it. I loved it. Listen, I enjoyed that day in Carfu. It was one of the best days we had. We did a lot of walking. I put some miles on Chuck's feet. Um, some miles that I don't even think Chuck knew he was going to be able to walk, but he did. He took it like a champ. We put a lot of miles in on his feet, even though we were doing a lot of driving that day. When we got dropped off, we still had like a 4-mile walk back to the cruise ship where we got dropped off at. So we could have went back to the cruise ship, but I chose to get dropped off in the city, the old city, and just walk around and enjoy the sights and sounds. And that's what we did. And then we walked back to the ship. It was a great day. The tour guide, Nicolos, he was phenomenal. And the interesting thing about that day was all the history that we got to learn, right? So there was a lot of clips that I really couldn't use because he had music playing and I really couldn't put certain pieces together because you could hear him, but you could also hear the music. And I didn't want the music to overpower the video or the audio and then it get demonetized. So I had to like chop it up as best as I could. And the history that he was teaching us was like the best experience of all. So the way they do it over in Greece is trees are inherited it, right? So if your father had 500 olive trees, you ultimately are given those olive trees. And it's the same with land. So you'll start seeing in the Mykonos video that's coming out all these like rocks that outline bits and pieces of land. Well, those rocks are actually landlines that somebody owns. So that's a lot. If you see it in a square, that's somebody's lot or that's somebody's land that is owned. So it was really cool to learn how that happens. It was really cool to learn how old some of the oldest olive trees are. There's olive trees on that island that are over hundreds of years old that still produce olives today. It's fascinating to learn that olives produce every year, but it's only every other year that they harvest because if they harvest every year, the second year they harvest in a row, the olives would be bad and they wouldn't be good enough for production of olive oil or production for olive consumption. It was cool to learn about the history of James Bond movie being filmed for your eyes only out there, and it was really cool to see like the water from different angles. That's what won my heart over is being able to see the crystal clear water and literally see the sand at the bottom of the ocean from like 200 feet up on this cliff. It was absolutely amazing. And the water gets so much better as the vlogs continue to progress over in Mykonos and Santorini and Montenegro and all of that. So be sure y'all check those out when they drop. The next one's probably going to be on Monday or Tuesday of next week. But it was awesome. Did you watch the shows? So I went to a couple of the shows on the ship. The best show. Oh man, what was his name? I'm horrible. I forget his name. What was his name? Lourdes, what was his name? She should remember. Let's see. I know I have it here. It just might take me a second to pull it up. But the best show we went and seen on that ship, other than the comedian Alex Elkin, he was phenomenal. He was absolutely hilarious. Lourdes says the black. Come on, Lourdes. Come on, Lourdes. Let's see. I have it here because I was talking with Blaine about it. Oh man, this is gonna drive me crazy if I can't find it. Marcus Anthony. Marcus Anthony. He was the best performer on the ship. The best show we've seen. Marcus Anthony. He's a singer. He sang with the Temptations, backup, and all that stuff over the years. But he was absolutely incredible. He interacted with the crowd. He came walking through the crowd. He made the show about everybody. He was phenomenal. His performance was phenomenal. He was absolutely the best performance on the whole ship. It's a shame we only had him towards the end of the cruise. I wish we had him for the whole cruise, but he was phenomenal. And Alex Elkin, the comedian, it's a shame we only had him towards the end of the cruise as well because he was phenomenal and put on an amazing show every night. Other than that, the other shows, they need to figure a few things out and change a few things around on them shows on the Glory. I know a few of them were that's it. Like they were last production of that show and a new show was coming on. So I'm pretty sure they got, figured out with that. I guess not having tickets for the bus was a good mess up, or does the driver always turn into a tour guide? So the way that happened is Chuck was like, hey, if we want to do this shuttle, then we have to book it by this time. And by the time we got around to booking it, it was done and gone. Like we couldn't book it. I wasn't told, even though he said he told me the night before. I don't think I was told till the next morning. So we couldn't end up booking it. But we were walking out and I was like, what are we going to do today? Normally, when I go to the port for the first time, I usually just walk around, explore, and just enjoy the day. I try to go off the beaten path. I try to follow the locals around because I want to show an in-depth, frugal-friendly experience of a place I've never been to before. And I don't always like doing excursions the first time I'm somewhere. I'd like to explore on my own and then get a feel for it. If I come back and need to do an excursion the next time, then that's what I would do, or I'll suggest that in the video. But when we get out there, he's like, yeah, for 60 euros, I'll take you all around. I'll take you to the other side of the island where the views are breathtaking and all this other stuff. And I'll give you a little history. And I'm a big history buff. Like, I love history. I can sit down and talk history with anybody for hours. It was my favorite subject in school. It's still my favorite subject now. So when he was like, I can give you a history of this, I can give you a history of that. And I was like, all right, it's 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. It's really not that expensive. It was 60 euros a piece. And it turned out to be one of the most phenomenal experiences I've ever had. So well worth the 60 euros, well worth meeting Nikolos and going all around the island. Now, in the video, I said, yeah, it's like that tourist trap we all know. That's what it felt like, right? Like he literally drove us around and then took us to this one specific place. But when you learn the history of that place and learn how many generations that family business has been passed down, and then we were driving around, he stopped and picked up the farm fresh tomatoes. He stopped and picked up the feta. He stopped and picked up the bread. And then he took us there and he served us this as like a welcome to the family type of thing. It made the whole experience that much better. So don't be opposed to hopping in a cab and doing one of those little cab tours around the city, whether it's in Greece, in Europe, or somewhere in the Bahamas. We did the same thing in Bermuda, and it was an absolute phenomenal tour in Bermuda as well as it was in Greece. I did do an excursion in Mykonos. We did book one in Mykonos, so that is an excursion video. But again, phenomenal. And then I went and I explored the rest of the day by foot. So be sure to check out all of those coming up in the very, very near future. The magician guy that came to our dinner table was phenomenal as well. There was so much amazing stuff that happened on that transatlantic cruise, and there's so much more to talk about. And you'll see so much of it in the upcoming vlogs. But that is it, y'all. Y'all made it through another Naughty Hour with me, another Thursday. I will be here next Thursday, same time, same place, same channel. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for hanging out with me. And if y'all haven't done so already, make sure y'all smash that subscribe button on the way out. Make sure y'all like this video, and I will catch y'all next week. Until then, I'll see y'all. Peace.